Hey there, comic book fans. I'm back from the comic shop again yesterday. Time for another early morning uh, comic book haul video. It's 7 a.m. A little sleepy. At the comic shop this week, I got 8 comics, 7 from my pull list, 1 I pulled off the shelf. Didn't get anywhere else this week, but we're going to start off with our top of the printer museum comics that I had on the top of the printer all week. We've got an issue of Journey. What issue is this? 13. Guest starring Normal Man. So this cover was by Valentino and William Mesner Loebs. Valentino is the guy who did Normal Man, and also the guy who wanted to do Guardians of the Galaxy in Form Image. And then the other one is a Spider-Man cover. What is this? 147. I liked my Spider-Man cover last week so much that I went with another one. And this is Gil Kane and John Romita. And strangely, I have 2 of them. So I just put the other one on the other side, just and flipped them around. They're both about in the same read as a kid shape, a 4 or a 5. But I always kind of liked... I can't say I liked the tarantula. I just always liked the way he looked on covers. Those pointy shoes, always threatening Spider-Man with his pointy shoes. So I had these up all week. I'm gonna have to reread this. I don't think I've read this series, which I think a couple years ago I filled in the issues I didn't have. But I haven't read Journey, I think, since the 80s. So I'm going to have to go back and reread that one of these days. Now they'll get put away, and I'll pull 2 more out. What did I get this week? It's like an issue. I actually came home late last night, put my comics were in a bag all day in the car. I put them on my drawing table. I haven't even looked at them yet. So I'm not 100% sure what I got. Spawn, number 356. Kind of like that cover. It's all right. By Rory McConville's the writer, Brett Booth the artist, Adelso Corona is the inks, Robert Nugent is the colors, and Tom Orzechowski on letters. Spawn's been fun. It's now the, depowered Spawn Heaven and Hell guys versus the vampires. Just fun stuff. Last $2.99 comics. As long as it's $2.99, I'll keep getting it. I think all the Spawn line is $2.99. Then we've got Tony Fleece and Dave Watcher doing Uncanny Valley, number 5. He's being erased. This is the one where the kid finds out he's part cartoon and that these cartoon people are real. There he is with his mother, and there's one of the cartoon people. And erasing them is like the only way to kill them. I don't know how many issues this is going. Usually these boom... Well, you never know, because sometimes they start out as 6-issue minis and just continue on for issues and issues. So I have no idea if this is going to wrap up in 6 issues or not. But we'll see. I'm enjoying it. And then we've got one I just bought for its cover. This is the 4th of the Scott Koblish covers. X-Men covers. This is Exceptional X-Men number 1. So there's 4 of these covers that connect. Since it's back and front, it's 8 covers in all that make one long, big poster. All the X-Men on it. That's why I bought this. Scott's a friend of mine, and I've really always liked these kind of covers with a whole bunch of people jammed into them. So there we go. Who even does the comic? Let's see. The writer is Eve L. Ewing. The artist is Carmen Canero. Color artist Nolan Woodward. Letterer VC's Joe Sabino. I said I'll read the comic, but I really bought it for its Scott Koblish cover. Then we've got Grindle Devil's Crucible Defiance, number 3 of 4. And there's 2 more Devil's Crucible series after this 4-issue series. Instead of Defiance, it's got other words. This is a Grendel Prime story. and Grendel Prime, who in the last the last 12 issue series, I guess they're breaking it down into 3 4 issue miniseries. I guess that'll probably sell better with 3 number ones instead of a number 7 and a number what would be a number 5, a number 11, and a number 1. But good series. Grendel Prime, like I said, he was out in space for 500 years. Now he's back on Earth, and things have changed. Vampires have taken over, and other vampires, and Spawn and Grendel Prime both have vampires in them. But I always like Matt Wagner's Grendel. Here's one that brings a smile to my face. Hate Revisited number 3. The first 2 issues were terrific. Hate is just one of my favorite books ever. Love it. And this one, he goes back over different time periods and tells stories about Buddy and the characters' lives. Some of it's in black and white, some of it's in color. I wonder if that has to do with the era it appeared in, because I think only the last volume of Hate was in full color. So maybe the most current stuff would be in color, and the black and white stuff is in black and white because that's the time period it took place in when the comic book itself was in black and white. Yeah, it took me 3 issues to figure that out, but I think that's the way it's going. Hate Revisited, terrific stuff. Then we've got Helen of Windor, issue number 4. I can't remember if this is going 6 or 8, something like that. Someone said it was originally supposed to go 4, and then they made it 6, or it was originally supposed to go 6, and then they made it 8. I can't remember the numbers, but this is a fun story. Sort of a fantasy venture. Takes place in the Great Depression in the U.S. It's about a writer, sort of like a Robert E. Howard character, except he's dead. And it's his daughter and her grandfather. And her grandfather is has this big house. Windhorn is the name of the house. In, I think it's in Texas, which makes me think it's Robert E. Howard. And she, after being a wild child, after her father died, she's young, she's like 16. She goes to live with her grandfather, and there's a narrator in this who is her governess. And the story is told from the point of view of the governess in, like, I don't know, 40 years later telling the story. Because, like I said, it took place during the 30s, I think it is. The governess going back and telling the story of her years with the daughter and the grandfather. So, and full of, like, fantasy adventure stuff going on. Let's see here's another one I bought just for the cover. My buddy Chris Geruso, who shows up on our Friday night show sometimes, is doing a series of variant covers for Venom. And what he's doing is he's kind of redrawing the A cover in his style. So the A cover artist is... Who is the A cover artist? If only I could find credits. And the first issue of this was pretty good. I actually thought it was well done. I'm not a Venom reader, as you've seen this channel. I never buy Venom. I never read Venom. In fact, I hardly read any Marvel comics. Aban Coelho. He's the A cover artist. So this is Chris drawing in Chris's style Aban Coelho stuff. So Chris is a buddy of mine. Like his work. So I've been collecting these. But like I said, I actually liked Venom number 1. Never having read much Venom, I had no problem keeping up with the story. They filled in some of the backstory. And it was well done. So who did I say was writing this? Al Ewing? Was that it? Oh, you got to search for these credits. Whoever. Whoever did a good job. And this is the one I pulled up off the shelf. I haven't got a facsimile in a while. Felt like getting one. So I got this 400th issue of Batman. I think this is the first story Frank Robbins, art Neil Adams, and Dick Giordano. I think this is the first Man-Bat. And I know I've read the first Man-Bat, but I think as a kid, did they reprint this in one of the Batman families? Because I know I didn't have this issue. I think they reprinted it in one of the Batman families, and I had that. Oh, there's a backup story, too. Gil Kane, penciler, and Vince Colletta, inker. I just noticed the art changed a lot in the back. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure they reprinted this in Batman Family or something. 'Cause I know I've read the first Man Bat as a kid, but I never had the 400th issue of Batman. All right, let me show you a little of my artwork. What do I got going here? Dreams of Things 244 is where we left off after showing you the big ink drawing last week. This one's kind of out there. Wow. It's funny, sometimes when I see them on screen, it's like I'm seeing them the first time because I'm seeing them in a different way. That one's got a lot of crazy stuff going on. We got a hand with an egg. We got a woman with 2 horns, not coming out of her ears, coming out of the back of her head. I mean, horns for like hearing, but they're not coming out of her ears. Got a big face down there with 2 hands holding it. Some sort of weird landscape. Easter egg, Easter egg. I said, give me an Easter egg. Something like that. What was that? That was a Bugs Bunny. Kind of like that little guy, little mod man, standing on a curly Q, spiral. I like the way this one came out. A lot of sometimes I break these down. Matter of fact, I originally started this series to do simple. Matter of fact, if you look at my early ones, to do sort of simple graphic designy drawings, and they ended up a lot of them being more illustrative. So this one came out a lot more illustrative than some of them. So I like the way that one came out. Alrighty, some comic books, some artwork, and you guys have a good week out there.